Okay, before we get started on this video, I just want to say to everyone, Happy New Year. I hope everybody has a great 2025. I sure hope I will. With that being said, let's get into our Calder rankings halfway through the season so far. We're going to be doing this for each award throughout the entire next week or so. We're going to do probably the Norris Trophy tomorrow. We're going to start with the Calder, though, today, because why not? I love talking some rookies, and that's always a big discussion around the NHL, 110%. So, let's take a look at it here. We're going to do a top 10. Now, I know that like a top 3 is more or less like the top 3 or top 4 is more or less the guys like, yeah, they're in it. But I want to give a shout out to some of the other rookies around the NHL as well, because we haven't really done our usual rookie monthly reviews that we usually do. We've kind of been avoiding that this year. I kind of forgot about it, so that's on me. But definitely I want to talk about some of the other rookies around the NHL and give them some love as well. So at number 10 for me on my Calder rankings, I have Jackson Blake from the Carolina Hurricanes. One of the more underrated, one of the more forgettable rookies in this class. Blake so far this season has 8 goals, 4 assists for 12 points in 37 games played this season. Yeah, he had a really good month of November, and then he's kind of teetered off in December, and that's what kind of really, plummeted his stock, I would say. But he is still a really good, really talented player, and is somebody who I'm looking forward to watch as he develops with Carolina, because he was kind of a gem. He was picked up in the later rounds, and he's going to be a pick for me that I am really excited to see pan out, and he has been awesome already so far for the Carolina Hurricanes, and I cannot wait for that to continue. Number 9, Will Smith. Will Smith has had a relatively down rookie campaign, I would say. He's been worse than I thought he would be. 6 goals, 7 assists for 13 points in 32 games played. I don't know. I feel he really has just not been at the high-scoring point level that I thought he was going to be. And maybe that's just, he had the injury. And, again, it's difficult to adjust to the NHL. But I figured he'd be at least a little bit better than only 13 points through 32 games played. Just something that I found a little bit weird. Again, you may not find it weird. You may be like, yeah, this is about what I expected. But I expected more out of Will Smith, and the fact that we didn't get that was a little bit weird, in my opinion. Number 8, we're going to go to a Montreal Canadian here, the first of 2. Obviously, with the Sharks, also a first of 2, but Emil Heineman, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. He has been awesome for the Canadians this year, playing fourth-line minutes. He has 9 goals, 7 assists for 16 points. I think he's like 3rd or 4th in goals in rookies right now. He has been honestly unreal this season with the Canadians. And again, as I said, playing 4th-line minutes. So maybe he's somebody who, down the road when Montreal is really competitive and Demidov comes over and whoever the high pick from this year's draft they get is coming over, Heineman might be like a permanent 3rd-line or 4th-line player for the future. So he's a good add there for Montreal, and a pretty good pickup he's been. And hopefully that will continue for sure, because I really like Heineman, and I think that, in the games that I've watched for Montreal this year, he has looked great on that 4th line, producing at a much better level than anybody would have thought he was going to. Number 7, Calder Trophy. Calder Trophy this season, 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points in 36 games played. He really struggled out of the gate. His rookie season up until I would say halfway through November was pretty rough. It was a pretty rough go of things for him, and it definitely was not great. You could argue that's because of Flyers fans chirping him on Twitter and Instagram literally all through that time saying, oh, when are you going to score? When are you going to score, buddy? Or maybe it's just because, again, it's the NHL. These guys are young. It takes them a little bit to kind of, get over the hump and finally, transition over to the NHL. So, in a way, I get it for sure, but definitely I would love to see Gauthier produce at a higher level, but he has been better over these last couple of weeks. And then you get to number 6, and this is where we probably get into the players who are in contention for it. But Logan Stankoven has not been what I have expected. I would have expected better out of him, to be honest with you. Stankoven this season, 4 goals, 14 assists for 18 points in 34 games played. The talent is still there, and we saw how he played in the playoffs and even at points last season with the team. But yeah, if we're being honest, like Stankoven's just kind of struggled a little bit this year. And it happens. I mean, again, he's played a few less games than a couple of other players on this list. And Dallas hasn't been particularly the greatest team in the world either. They've had their struggles too. But I do think that Stankoven is still a very good player, is still probably in contention for the trophy. Just at least as of right now, through the halfway mark of this season, he is not top 5 for me in Calder voting, if I'm being completely honest. And if we're also being completely blunt, the Calder is based off of primarily points. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, I hate to be that way, but it's primarily based off of points unless you have a goaltender who plays really well, and there is a goalie on this list. But again, it's based off a lot of points, and Stankoven, if he wants to get into the top 3, he needs to score more. That's the biggest thing, honestly. Next up then, at number 5, the top 5 of this list, I got Maxim Tisplikov of the New York Islanders. Tisplikov, 7 goals, 12 assists for 19 points this season in 38 games played. He is somebody who I'm a big fan of as well for the Islanders, and is somebody who I've seen by a lot from Islanders fans has been touted as a complete player. He may be the most complete player on this list, is what Islanders fans have been saying to me. And I'll also say this. I can't watch all 32 teams in the NHL. I don't watch all 32 teams in the NHL as much as I would like to. But I try and watch as much as I possibly can. And from what I've seen from Tisplikov, he looks good out there. And again, he's older than a lot of these other rookies. He played a little bit of time in the KHL. I think he's only like 24. Like, he's a little bit older than some of these other rookies that are, in the race right now. So I can completely see why he's a more complete player. He's just not scoring as much points as you would obviously like him to. So definitely there for me. I think that Tisplikov has been pretty impressive this year for the Islanders. Number 4. Number 4 is the goalie that I have been talking about. It is Dustin Wolf. Wolf this season has a 12-5-2 record with a 2.61 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. Dustin Wolf has been really good. There's really no other way to describe it or say anything about it. He has been awesome this season for the Calgary Flames. And I think, honestly, a big part in why Calgary has been as good as they've been is because of how Dustin Wolf has played. And what really sucks, though, is that goalies don't get considered for the Calder that often. The last goalie to win the Calder was Steve Mason a couple of years ago. So it's not that often where it does happen, which does stink, honestly, because you'd like to see somebody like Wolf go and win the Calder. Could he be a finalist? Absolutely. But these top 3 that I'm about to mention here, it's like, honestly, it's interchangeable amongst the 3 of them, and it's really hard to rank them. And it's probably going to be your final 3. Like, if we're being brutally honest, this will likely be your final 3. And at number 3, I have Lane Hutson of the Montreal Canadiens. Hutson this season has 2 goals, 24 assists for 26 points in 37 games played this season. I believe he has played the most games of any rookie. Hutson has been awesome. Has been racking up assists. His creativity is off the charts. But you guys also know, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, I said that Hutson was going to get embarrassed defensively at points this season. And I was right, more or less. I mean, we knew that was going to happen. We knew that Hutson was going to struggle at points this year defensively. And when you're a young kid like him, it happens. It's not something that is avoidable as a defenseman, too. I think he's the only defenseman on this list. So, again, he has been really impressive, racking up points. And, again, as I said, it is interchangeable between the top 3. So you could rank it Hutson 1, Celebrini 2, Michkov 3, or Michkov 1. You get what I'm saying. It's interchangeable between these 3 in my eyes. It's really not, that far out between either of these players. There's not a big gap in terms of how good these players have been. So again, for those who may be mad that Hudson's number 3, it's interchangeable for me in this top three. Number 2, Matvei Michkov of the Philadelphia Flyers. 12 goals, 17 assists for 29 points in 36 games played this season. He does lead rookies in points, but I also want to say that there is somebody in San Jose who's been a lot better than he has been in my eyes, and I'll get into him in a second. But first off, Michkov has been great this year. He has been really good. He's been creative. He's been putting up goals, putting up points. He's a really creative passer. He's like Lane Hudson in a way, but a forward, and I know Canadians fans are going to hate that I just compared Michkov to Hudson. But regardless, they're like not the same player, but they are really creative in both senses with moving the puck. Michkov can definitely is a great passer. I would say Hudson's probably better, but definitely, like they're both really good players, and just Michkov has racked up points with limited ice time as well. Hudson is playing first pairing. Michkov is playing very limited. Like, especially these last couple of weeks, he has not been playing a lot because of John Tortorella, and I still don't compute it in my brain whatsoever. I don't even want to hear about how it doesn't make any sense because I've heard it so many damn times. I know it doesn't make sense. But yeah, I think that Michkov has been great this season for the Philadelphia Flyers. And at number 1 for me, for the San Jose Sharks is Macklin Celebrini, the first overall pick of this past draft. He has 12 goals, 15 assists for 27 points in 28 games played this year with the Sharks. It's remarkable because he's only 2 points back of Michkov with only 8 less games played. That is phenomenal. And again, we remember that he suffered that injury at the beginning of the season, which took him out until mid-November. And we were like, oh man, that really hurts his Calder stock there for sure. But no, he has still been remarkable down the stretch here for San Jose. And his creativity, the way he moves the puck, his two-way sense as well, is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal the way this kid can play, the way he can move the puck around and, get shots on net and even play a similar level of defense as well. It is just simply remarkable. And like him playing alongside like Toffoli has also been a true blessing to watch. It's been awesome to see. Now, again, there's the struggles. The struggles are there with all 10 rookies on this list, as I said. But for me right now, even though Michkov does lead in points, and again, as I said, like the Calder is points, the voters are going to see that Celebrini did what he's doing right now in so many less games played and give him probably a higher advantage, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that is my Calder ranking so far through this season. Again, we're going to do Norris Trophy tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, what did I get right? What did I get wrong? Did I miss a rookie? It's possible that I did. I don't really think that I missed anyone, but maybe you think Kovalenko or Zachary Bolduc should be on this list. But let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. Please like down below if you liked it. Subscribe if you really liked the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.